Hey guys, procode-software here, and today I'm going to show you how to make 3D models using Figma and Blender to upload to Roblox Studio. Right now you'd probably be asking, why would I use Figma to make this? So the answer to that is, if you're not that good at modeling in Blender, we're going to use Figma to make the shape, and then we'll upload it into Blender and model it to upload to Roblox Studio. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video, and now let's get started. We are going to make a simple gate. So first, open Figma, and let's start by using the pen tool. So put some points on, and the recommendation is to hold shift if you want to make them at straight angles like 90 degree, 0 degree angles. So once you have a shape, let's remove the stroke and replace it with a fill color. You want to change it because we'll change it later in Roblox Studio. And now to export it, click on export at the bottom and change the file type to SVG. It's important to be an SVG instead of a pixel image like a PNG because Blender does not allow it. Save it to a place where you will be able to find it later. And now let's move on to the actual modeling inside Blender. So first, delete Blender's default cube, and let's go to File, and then Import, then Scalable Vector Graphics, and then find your SVG file that you just saved. It will come in very small, so let's zoom in so we can actually see it. Then let's press R and then X to rotate it on the X-axis. And then we can click on the action and then just make it perfect, like a perfect 90-degree angle. And because it's so small, let's scale it by pressing S to make it larger. Now let's add more depth to our shape. So add the solidify modifier and change it to a good thickness. Now the next step is very important. Let's turn this into a mesh by clicking object and then convert to mesh. The modifier has automatically been applied. And now to create another piece of the gate, let's press Shift D, then X, and move it to the right, but it doesn't have to be perfect because that's how they look like in real life. Now let's create another cube. Move and scale it so it can be around the top of the gate. Now press Shift D and then Z to create another piece of the gate that will be down. So congratulations, we have our basic gate. So let's start exporting it. Select the two cubes of the gate and then click File and then Export. Select Wavefront Object, limit to the selection only, so we will only be exporting that. And a good place to save it and name whatever you want. And then let's click Export. And now for the last two parts. Repeat the same steps and save it as a different name. Once you did that, it's time to go back to Roblox Studio. Right-click somewhere and insert a new object and then look for mesh part. Once it's added, duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D. Sure they're both at the same position. Click on the import button by mesh ID and import one of your objects. When you see this dialog, no. Repeat the same steps with the second one until you see your gate. It imported below the base plate, so select both of them and then Ctrl G to group them, and then let's move it and rescale it. Let's expand the group so we can see both of our parts. Click 1, and then if it's the gate, change the color and the material of it to something that you like. I'm just going to choose some brown that is good. I'm going to change the second one to a darker brown that is metallic and has some reflectance. So yeah, that is it. If you liked this tutorial, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything Procode. Now I'll see you in the next video.